So after all of your features are marked and laid out on your paper, then you're going to focus in on a feature. And I typically start with the nose. And I start with the end of the nose, drawing it like a ball. If you can learn how to shade a ball really, really well, like as lifelike as possible, it'll serve you really well when you're drawing. So I treat the end of the nose like a ball. I draw that. I start the shading. I just quickly added in some features on this because typically I would already have those drawn in. But after the ball, I'm going to shade in the nostrils, darker towards the top where they are more recessed, and lighter towards the bottom where, it starts to come back out into the upper lip area. And then, of course, your nostrils. And this is just a very generic nose. Play around with it. I mean, I've got old sketchbooks where I have pages of only noses. All different shapes and sizes and variations. It's a lot of fun. And that'll serve you really well, too. Just focusing on features. I've got the same thing with eyes, pages of eyes. And so I just wanted to show you guys something quick here. To get you going if you have interest in drawing portraits. And as far as reference photos go, they're helpful if you are truly wanting to draw, like another person. But if you're just wanting to draw a person out of your imagination, this is really more for that, even though these skills will be useful and can be applied when you are drawing from a reference photo too, But this right here helps you learn. It's like you're training your eyes how to see the highlights and the shaded areas when you look at a reference photo, because you can look at a photo if you're new at drawing, and this is the experience for a lot of beginner artists. You won't see, you just can't easily see the shape in these terms. So this right here is just a great starter point for learning, the shaded areas and the shapes and all of that before you get into more realistic techniques and, even painting and stuff like that. This is just a great starting place. And so, the lips, I didn't do it here. I might do another video, but you can shade the lips in more of a directional way as well. And as for the chin, this is how I start the outline of a face if I'm beginning with a feature. Sometimes I don't start with the egg shape, the upside down egg shape, the outline of the face. Sometimes I do start with the nose, and then I'll just add in the chin and stop there if I am going to be adding in long hair, because if the hair is going to fall in front of the face, then you've done extra work that you have to erase later. But you can, if you're going to show more of the face, and even with the chin, you have to consider symmetry. I think that we're just naturally drawn to that. We want everything to be symmetrical, even though in real life, our bodies are organic and not perfectly symmetrical. So it's something to keep in mind, just so that you can kind of cut yourself some slack when you are creating portraits, whether drawing or painting, and you see flaws, in terms of symmetry. It's okay, because in real life, again, things are not perfectly symmetrical. I will be creating another video that is detailing out how to draw realistic eyes. And again, whether you're more into painting or drawing or whatever it is, the same principles and elements that are reviewed here and that will be reviewed in the video about the eyes, the realistic eyes, they're going to be valuable. And so just look for that. It's just that, detailing out the eyes realistically takes a while, so I wanted to give that its own video. But it's fun to me to draw the eyes closed if I'm taking creative liberty like this, and just consider the shape again, the 3D landscape, the highs and lows for your shading. I just kind of think of them like lemons, with, again, just ambient lighting, with the highlight right there in the middle. And I love these paper stumps. I can't say it enough. They're just so easy and fun to use, especially if you have a really great pencil that's soft and very blendable, you know. Um, and then, you know, I learned early on too in my drawing journey to use erasers not just for mistakes, but as a tool. You know, sometimes you want to go back and create your highlights with your eraser. They can look all kind of different ways. You can make a sharp highlight with a corner of an eraser. You can make a very soft highlight, depending on how you use it and what kind of eraser you have. So. Um, The eyebrows tend to look more realistic if you are willing to put in the individual hairs. Just short, wispy strokes is sufficient usually, and it's something that, as you can see in this portrait, I like to just kind of spend a little bit of time on a particular part of the face or the hair, or whatever it is, the neck, and then I like to come back to it later and just add a little bit more. It's sort of like if you step away from a particular part of your portrait just to work on another part, then when your eyes go back to what you were doing, you might see it a little bit differently. And you can also literally get up and step away from your art and see it at a distance. And a lot of times that will you'll be able to see things that you couldn't see when you were sitting up close. So that's a little trick too, just to literally get up and walk away, and spend some time away from it too, and that will show you some new things. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and check back for part 2.